Hi, this is Jeff with Canary, and thank you for joining me on a walkthrough through version 19 of Axiom. When you first install version 19, you should have the tutorials pop up and recognize that this is your first time on the version. Take the time and go through the tutorials. It will greatly help, and it will only take 3 to 5 minutes. If you did fail to do that and close them out like most users do, you can come to the hamburger menu and come down to More, and there's your tutorials. General, chart tutorials, and application tutorials. Now, let's compare version 18 to version 19. On the left-hand side of my screen, you'll see I have a version 19 instance of the Axiom browser open. And on the right-hand screen, using a remote desktop, I am using a version 18 of the Axiom browser. And my purpose of this video is to just walk you through some of the formatting differences between the different versioning, as well as a couple of quick feature updates. So the first thing you'll see when you come into version 18 is the typical formatting, where you had a choice between mode of a chart or an application, your recent applications or charts as you select, and then your folder structure of applications or charts. Now, on version 18, we've changed that around slightly. The mode feature between applications and charts has moved here in the upper right-hand corner. And so as I toggle, you'll see that my recent charts or recent applications are now on the left, and my folder structure is here under Browse. We've also added the icons for adding folders, writing or editing the names of charts, applications, or folders, as well as copying and pasting and deleting to this front menu. Now, if you do something new and don't open one, and we do a new chart, new's down here still in the bottom, same way over here, we'll do a new chart in version 18. You'll get something similar to what you're used to seeing, the option to either load a chart or add trends. And we have this here as well. So if we're going to go ahead and add trends, we'll come right into our tag selector. I'm referencing the same historian from both of these instances. And so if I use my asset model called plant, I'll see that I have a plant pressure and temperature tag, and we'll go ahead and add those. I'll do the same thing here. All right, so one of the first things I think you'll probably notice is that the scales have been optimized to take less screen space. So when a scale does not have a need for a high decimal place, we drop the decimals now, although they still show up on the cursor bar. Over here, you'll see the scales were taking up twice the amount of space just because of the decimals. So the decimals will show up when they're relevant. For instance, if I zoom in to a tighter area, we'll see now that we're in a more precise area, the decimals automatically come onto the scale. All right, a few other things on the scales. Of course, if we click on the scales, we can still choose to band them by both band and scale, or just band by clicking. But a few other options that have been added, if you notice when I clicked on one, I have the option now it's grayed out, and that allows me, if I want, to slide the scale up or down the chart. So if I was looking for maybe some type of correlation, it becomes a little easier now to be able to see that correlation. Now I can see those two drops are very similar to each other in that section. When I use that feature, I get an auto band icon here in the top of the chart title, and that will just return it. Now, I also have the option on these scales that if I right click, I can edit the scale directly from the screen without going into a submenu. So I can now make a max value of 60 and a minimum value of, we'll say, 0, and it'll update automatically. Last thing on the scales, if I come to the edge of the scale, I have the ability to shrink the banding or to expand it. Again, I can hit the auto band and come right back to where I was. As far as the layout of the screen, all of our menu for legend and all of our time navigation on the bottom is the same. But as you come up to the top, you'll notice that where you had a triple ellipse menu before on version 18, there's a bit of redundancy we've realized in this menu with the new and the load and the save as. And so really the features here were tutorials, playback, and then our preferences. Well, here in version 19, we've kept preferences and we've added the username as you're logged in here so that you can come in and do your preference or log out. You can also download an application version of Axiom for version 19 that will run on your Windows clients directly from this selection. But as far as our playback or the tutorials, they've now moved to the hamburger menu, and they sit here under the More. You have playback and you have tutorials, and then you also have a new feature called reports. And reports will allow you to schedule an automatic reporting feature of your applications or charts. There's a viewer to show you the reports that have been running on schedule, as well as a scheduler. And so here we can see I have a chart, and this chart has been scheduled to run Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 10 a.m. and to email info@canarylabs.com. I could add all of the days of the midweek to that, and now every morning at 10 a.m. I'll receive an email at info@canarylabs.com of this chart. All right, just one other thing I want to point out. Before, if I wanted to add tags on this version 18, I would go into my trend menu, and then I would click Add Tags. We've tried to make that a little faster, so now we have a one-click option here for adding trends. It'll take you right back to where you left your last browse, as well as just before the trend menu here now does still have the option to add tags from it, but it's a little faster now if you just want to go right there. And of course, always if you right-click, it'll take you directly to the trend menu for that particular trend that you've right-clicked on. All right, well, I hope this helps you as you learn the new layout of version 19. We always like feedback, so please use info@canarylabs.com to do so, or drop us a note in the comments below.